back to the Experience Podcast. It's just me again this week. We have part 2 of the infamous, Hotel Tanner episode. We are picking right up where we left off last week. At 15 minutes and 44 seconds in, Tanner is just starting to get into the details of his new proposal, Hotel Tanner. So the background of it, I'll just give you guys a quick thing. Tanner, I think by this time, this is what I think the background is, by the way. I can't say for 100% sure. But I believe this time we were, because I was staying on for a master's for 1 year, so I was looking for roommates, and Tanner graciously allowed me to room with him and a couple of his friends. So that's kind of how we got to this point. Is I ended up rooming with Tanner while I was doing my master's that year, and so we haven't gotten to that point yet. That was for like the following fall. This is in April, so we were talking about we would start that rooming together. In September, August, I guess. So now Tanner is sort of getting into the weeds of the logistics, I guess, of how Tanner wants to set up this hotel of his, and our hostel, I guess, in the current stages of the development of it, to profit off of it. Basically, stick us all in the same room and then, sell or rent out the other places, which I don't think are legal, by the way, in the context of where we were staying that year. But anyway, let's get into it. Again, Hotel Tanner, episode 42.
If you want your own private room to engage with a lady of the night.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
So you're in charge of the 3 remaining rooms. You're the boss.
I see we just run a hotel. This is the lobby area.
And then so one of your 3 roommates wants to, bring over a lady of the, let's say, evening.
Yeah, lady of the late
night's
afternoon.
A little rough.
Yeah.
Like a lady of the 5:30.
And so, lady of the 5:30.
Lady of the traffic hour.
Mm-hmm. And so he has to come to you, say, hey, I've got a lady coming over, and he has to, I guess, Venmo you to rent that unoccupied space.
Depends on who it is.
Okay.
If it's like one of our roommates, they get
it is one of your roommates. Who else will be in the room?
Well then they can have it as long as no one else is booking it for that night.
So
now, do we need to hire an extra receptionist? What's the deal?
I'll be the receptionist.
Oh, you'll be the receptionist.
I'm dropping out of school
to
be a receptionist for Hotel Tanner. I couldn't think of a better name.
Oh,
no, not a hotel.
What about hold on, I'll think of a better name. Hotel California. Hotel California. And we only have 3 rooms with 4 people in it. And then the last room.
We don't have enough beds for this. You can need an extra bed.
We just have to go around.
This is taking a different turn.
What was that last thing you said?
I don't know. See, I was thinking this was going with the studio still.
Yeah.
The last room is the drug den.
Okay.
This is called Hotel California.
You can make drugs?
I don't know how, but you guys are chemical engineers.
Are we talking about like prescriptions? Like you just keep like your penicillin in there?
Yeah.
No. Like this is where you go to abuse heroin.
This is a bit fishy.
Pause here. To be clear, we Connor and I don't endorse any of this proposal, especially the drugs part. But all of the lady of the evening stuff is a little, I don't know that we could endorse that. So, again, I apologize. Looks like I got a computer notification during that recording. I thought it was on. Let's put, do not disturb is on, guys, so that won't happen again. It was just like you have no cloud storage thing. I get that. And you know what, I'm proposing as well. If you guys know, how do I just not get these notifications for not enough? Because it's telling me I don't have like enough OneDrive space, but I don't really use OneDrive for anything. So I think it just I guess I can go to notification settings. Just tells me like, oh, you don't have enough cloud storage because I only used 1 gigabyte. So it's like I don't use it at all. Anyway, so we'll get back into it here. But yeah, I don't know where Tanner's going with this. This is why it's a classic episode, I suppose. But okay, back into it.
Okay. Well, of course it would be off.
So you're laundering the money through the hotel?
Yes. So make a little bit more on the side. And that way, I can support my own education. and go to school here.
Drug business.
And with the drug business, yes.
No,
We're not doing a studio.
Yeah, exactly. My mom said I needed to get a job next semester.
and this is your job.
Oh, on campus?
Yeah, and
Why don't you be a plus student?
Dude, I don't know, huh?
You said to get an A in anything.
You have to get an A?
Yeah.
I haven't gotten an A in a math class yet.
And it doesn't be math, it could be science.
Really?
Yeah, it could be chemistry,
Physics.
organic chemistry.
Whoa.
Have you gotten an A in any class of road tech? In which
In
ones?
any class
Yeah.
that I'd want to TA in?
It's not TAing, it's plus.
Plus,
I don't... It's in any class?
Leo went in for an interview for something.
Is it actually in any class?
It has to be one we offer, but if you tell me which classes, I'll say if we offer.
Psych 1101 got named.
No, we don't offer that.
Exactly. Earth Science 1600.
What are you taking?
That's what I took last
This
semester.
is his schedule, Connor. As you
That's what I took
he
last
lives a nice
semester.
life. I
Yeah.
I live
It's
a
a
nice
different
life.
world.
Yeah.
Those were just the general heads. This year I'm taking. You guys know what I'm taking. I'm not going to dive into that for the
I don't. I really don't.
You're taking your.
You're not taking
yes,
classes on Friday.
You're taking
Yep.
another EAS class.
Nope.
Okay. You're taking.
He's taking math.
You're taking.
I'll
You're
take
taking
it.
multi.
I'll take
Taking
it.
multi. Didn't know that. That's it.
Yeah, that's actually all I'm taking. 4 credit hours. I'm not technically registered as a student because it's only 4 hours. It's not even part time.
It's not your part time.
Not even part time.
Okay, so you're starting to class.
Yeah.
Right now
I don't
you're
think
I'm a part-time student right now.
You are.
I think so. I'm taking 10
That is part time.
Yeah, it is part time.
or 11 maybe. I think I might be 11.
That's nice. Wish I could do that. I can't do that.
I'm doing that next year.
Really? Why?
Next fall.
Why?
I'm
Because
taking 3
he
classes
doesn't have
next
any
May.
classes to take. He's already
You
on
have classes to take.
I'll tell you about this later, off the record.
What?
Off the podcast.
About what? What's going on?
What's going on here, Tanner?
So back to Hotel California.
I don't understand what that was
That
about.
was
Are
still
you-
a touch of Tanner.
So the hotel.
The hotel, yeah. What do you think about this idea?
It's not. It's not good.
No?
Well, how are you going to advertise your drug den?
Yeah.
Discreetly?
How are you gonna advertise the hotel? Because technically that's also illegal.
Undiscreetly?
That's illegal.
That's
You
illegal,
can-
though.
Who's staying over too?
Discreetly.
Who's staying over at this hotel? The drug people?
And non-drug people, yes.
Because if you have a drug den, then your drug people are gonna want to stay over.
Well,
So wait,
the,
only
the
drug people?
the
can
druggies
stay
can
in
stay in the.
And I don't want. I don't want the
drug
druggies staying in
room.
my.
No, lock them in the room, dude. They can't hurt you if you lock them in the room at night.
Because you
We just
don't
wish-
want the druggies in the drug den because they don't take more drugs. You
No,
want
we
the
do.
non-druggies in the
We
drug den.
do.
Pausing here. This is out of control. I don't understand. Sometimes Tanner doesn't really think ideas through, and I don't know why this needs to be a drug den. I'm not sure why that has to. Why are we making this double illegal? When you're starting a business like this, where you don't have a lot of ideas, I feel like you got to start small, right? You don't want to do your little hotel thing where you let people stay over. That's like step one. But he's trying to do 4 steps all at once, and it's that's when things get out of control. So, staying within your means is sort of what I'm getting at here. But okay, we'll get back into it.
We want the druggies. We want to offer them a safe place to shoot.
Yeah, but if you let them in the other rooms, then those
we won't
rooms
let them in the
become,
other rooms.
Those rooms become drug dens.
Every room will be a drug den.
Hear me out. There is one room. We tell them as soon as they walk through that main door, I said, you have one area to do drugs in, one area to shoot up. And that is room number 4, Daniel's room. You can go in there.
Daniel's room.
One Daniel's.
Why not your
Well,
room?
mine's
This
room
is your
A.
risk.
First of all, it's by A, B, C, D.
All right, so they
And I'm A.
shoot up in A. Okay, I tell them that is the place you can shoot up. You can use a bathroom across the hall.
Oh,
and
that's your bathroom. though.
because you are going to shoot up, you are legally not allowed to go into the other rooms. Don't look that up. I can't.
But they're not even allowed to go in that
No.
room.
There's a lot of. That's
a lot.
we're gonna draw the line.
Exactly. Exactly. And so
Not
we
the
make
one
sure make sure all of them are accounted for. We do a little sign-in sheet, right?
And
And at the end of the night, hear me out. We just put them in the room and we just lock the door from the
we
outside.
can't. That's not how these rooms work.
We can figure it out. We're Georgia Tech engineers.
That's not how the locks work.
But hear me
change
out.
the locks.
We
Wait, you want to lock them in the room?
yes. Then that way they can't wander around the hotel at night and cause potential.
But the hotel is just your room.
The
Yeah.
hotel is this entire apartment.
which is just two.
So you have other rooms that they can stay in.
That non-druggies can stay in.
But Tanner, I don't think you understand.
Yes.
When we have a drug. We have a drug den.
Yep.
We have 2 hotel rooms.
No, 3 other hotel rooms.
No, because there's one for all us to sleep in.
Oh, you're right. So literally we
There's
can
2
only have...
hotel rooms. Yes.
Yeah.
But here's the okay. First of all, there's no furniture.
No furniture.
Okay.
We can move this in there. Boom, they have furniture in the hotel room. We're sitting on furniture right now.
Okay. Regardless.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's a drug den and then 2 rooms, 2 hotel rooms. You're telling the druggies to take their drugs and then stay in the hotel rooms.
Well, hopefully they're incapacitated by their drugs.
So you're gonna have incapacitated drug.
Yes.
You're gonna have them OD on drugs.
We'll hire someone to be in there with them, like to just.
No, but here's the problem. Yeah, because if you put them in hotel rooms, those rooms now become other drug dens.
No, we won't put them in the other rooms.
So they're in the bathroom.
I think we're locking them in there. Those rooms.
Okay. Here it is. As soon as they walk through the door, we shut it. We're like, would you like to go the Hotel California route or the Hotel Tanner route? If they take the Hotel California route, we advertise that we have a nice space. It's literally an empty room with like a mat, like a gym mat on the floor. That's
so
it.
Sketchy.
It's just a gym mat on the floor, so they can't hurt themselves. Okay.
But you need gym mats on the walls and everything too.
No, they don't get that luxury. That's
You're
not
taking a risk here because if they hit their head on the door handle, then you have an incapacitated drug person in your room.
We can put like a pool float over the door handle so they don't like hit their head. But hopefully they're just like slouched up against the wall. Is my hope.
In your experience, that's what they'll do.
Well, that's what I'm hoping. So once they're in there, you say you can go to the bathroom, but we have like not a security guard, but someone just checking in on them. I'll do that.
So, you're a security guard.
I'm not a security guard, but I'm saying because you took the Hotel California route, your only 2 options are Hotel California room A, Daniel's room, or the bathroom. And you can't shoot up in the bathroom because we have cameras.
Okay.
So you have no cameras in your drug den at all. The most risky situation you can have.
Well, because you know that sex is going to happen.
Yeah.
Oh, so are they? So they can bring their own ladies of the evening.
Well, it's in Daniel's room, so
den.
they can really do whatever.
Are you providing condoms?
Those will not be provided.
Yeah.
Why would I? That's like premium. This isn't.
You can charge them.
Hotel California. Yeah, exactly. I'm about to get to that.
Above market price.
Not above market price. That's where we differentiate ourselves from the drugging market.
Pausing here. Yeah, I'm kind of lost now. Like, so I still think, listening to this, I still think you got to separate the 2. I think you don't do the drugs now. I think we can add, you can add that in later. But as a small business, I don't think you can do that because that's just not, it's not going to work. I'm not sure how Tanner thinks that's going to work. Okay, but let's get back to it.
We're trying to undercut the current, shoot up place, which is usually like broken down in abandoned buildings. So we're offering a little bit of a nicer one at a slightly higher price, like $5 per person. A safe place to shoot up.
Now,
Yeah.
Why do we need a drug den? I mean, where's the podcast studio?
Well, the podcast studio can be in this main room, like we're in right now. It doesn't really matter where the podcast studio is, as long as it's not in the drug den.
How do you expect your average? So your average heroin user
Yes.
does not have probably enough for a hotel stay.
That's where you're wrong. Actually, statistics indicate that the average heroin abuser is just slightly below the poverty line. So they probably have enough money for a $5 hotel.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're saying okay. So here's Hotel Tanner.
Hotel Tanner.
Your subsidiary is Hotel California.
It's not a subsidiary. It's just a different branch.
Okay. So your subsidiary is Hotel California. This is your drug den. They get access to one of 2 bathrooms. One which is a drug bathroom. The other one is everyone else in the hotel and the other people's personal bathroom.
Yes. Well, that's only for 12 other people. 12 people can share a bathroom.
Okay.
It's not that hard.
So your one, let's say a heroin user,
Yeah.
ruins the entire bathroom until like the next maybe month when the next heroin user comes, and they get to sleep on a gym mat in Daniel's room that may or may not have
semen all over
semen all over the walls with Ladies of the Night.
Okay, well here's where I'm picking up what you're putting down. You said may or may not have semen on the walls. Hopefully it's not.
Okay, so
It
you're
probably
gonna have
will.
a list of like 10 rules. No semen
No
on the
semen on
walls.
the walls.
And there's gonna be semen on
Well,
that list.
Uh-huh.
Are you asking for sexual favors?
No.
Okay.
I'm asking for money. I'm trying to make a business, a legitimate business.
And so how much? Because this is a big risk you're taking.
Yeah.
Here. How much are you charging these
$5
a night?
The risk is there is a hidden fee. We make them sign something. Usually they're in sort of a haze from the heroin they're doing. Yeah, we call it the heroin haze.
Yeah.
We call it that. But usually they don't really read what they're saying.
Is this also limited to just heroin?
Can they be like a meth user,
Well,
cocaine?
We usually report them to the police if they break any of our
Now-
rules. Yes.
You're reporting to police, but you're also doing something illegal. You see this potentially
You're
back to me.
definitely
No.
running a drug den.
No. Here's
When they look on Yelp and see Hotel California, floor 3 of Christine.
No. Here's what happens.
Okay.
We report them. We say, "Hey, GTBD, there's some homeless man outside." As we escort the guy in his heroin haze outside, so he doesn't know what's going on. But he broke a rule by breaking the toilet. He broke the ceramics of the toilet. So we're like,
How?
And
"That's
this
it,
was
brother."
in your contract.
This was
which
in our
you
contract.
show the police,
if
man.
he damages our house, no, I should say we escort him outside. We say there's a dangerous man outside. GTPD, pick him up. And so there, boom, he's going to the police.
And then he gets interrogated by the police, and
And
he
they-
says,
Does it say
He's
that?
staying
Does it
at a
remember?
drug den.
Who are the police going to believe? There's an obvious drug guy.
I'm pausing here. Yeah, I think Tanner's out over his skis here, obviously. But, like, you don't want to involve the police with this, right? Like, anytime you see, like, you watch, like, a crime show or whatever, and, like, you're watching the criminal gang or whatever, I don't know, enterprise, they're always like, don't go to the police, you know? Never want to go to the police with it, because you just don't want to involve them if you're doing your little crime thing. So, like, when Tanner's like, oh, we'll let him walk out and go to the police and blah, blah, blah. Like, no, it's like the last thing you want to do. If these crime shows tell you anything, that's the last thing you want to do. But, okay, we're going to go a few more minutes, then we're going to wrap up here soon. Okay.
Who's obviously in the heroin haze, saying stuff like, they're running a drug den out of their apartment room.
I mean, he is going to be picked up outside of your apartment
Uh-huh.
as you report it to the police.
Yeah.
That does look sketchy.
But then, worst case scenario.
And they would go into your apartment and
They need
see
probable
the drug
cause. They
den.
need better probable cause.
They would come to your
no,
apartment.
they don't need probable cause in an on-campus apartment.
Well, they don't know that.
Okay. So the police don't know
The rules.
They don't know the rules. The police don't know what's going on.
Yes. Well, maybe we grease some fingers and try to like.
Don't
slide
say it
some-
like that.
We put money in people's hands.
Grease some fingers.
Let's grease some.
Okay,
Grease some
here's what I'm
fingers.
thinking.
Yeah.
Let's take away. Okay, let's leave Hotel
Mhm.
Tanner. Let's get rid of this Hotel California.
okay,
sounds
fine,
good.
fine.
Okay, get rid of that.
Okay,
Let's
fine.
leave Hotel Tanner and take Hotel out of the equation.
Okay.
And just have Tanner.
What am I doing?
You're in your room.
Okay. I
There
like
we
where
go.
this is going.
Okay, and then there's 3 other rooms.
Okay.
And there's Daniel,
Yep.
there's Andrew,
Yep.
and there's Barry.
Okay.
Who is still waiting to come on the podcast?
Barry, he's gonna be on the next.
Is he actually?
Yeah. He said he might pop in if we're recording. He would like pop in, but he doesn't want to like walk all the way here.
Okay.
Is that a good idea?
What? Barry on the podcast?
Sure.
If he just says a few things, like we limit him. He's got a word count: 250 words, 500 characters. You say any more than that, you're out.
Okay.
Why?
You'll see.
Is that like he's got to be a premium? Is that our new like business?
No.
What if
that's-
he runs his own podcast and that's a premium channel?
Yeah, Baron undercuts the.
Your podcast.
No.
Yes,
This
he reviews
podcast.
your podcast. No, he reviews your podcast.
Because you're reviewing our podcast.
So he'll review
He's
your
reviewing
review.
yours.
So it's like the second derivative of podcasts.
Yes.
Look who's been studying.
That's a
podcasts.
that's
How'd you
a
do in
big
the last
one
test?
right there.
What?
How'd you do in the last test?
Well, according to the last podcast, I got a 60.
Well, how did you do on the first one?
I got 100.
There we go.
There you go.
That's what I'm talking
There
about.
we go. That's what I'm talking
In
about.
that B range.
Solid B range, baby. Hell yeah. So, that's what I'm thinking. I told you my plans.
Okay.
Hopefully it's going to be pretty sweet. having.
Okay. So we're gonna pause there. Sorry, I did a little overlap. I had suddenly unmuted my own mic before I was hitting pause. I was like, oh, let's let him finish a sentence. Okay, we're gonna cut it off there. This has been part 2 of my little commentary on Hotel Tanner. It's not a good idea. I'm just like, I thought it then. I still think it now. Not a good idea. I don't think he thought it through. I think he's got a lot of logistics that he's got to go through, and sort of the paperwork that he hasn't really thought through yet. It's more just like, but that's like Tanner. He's kind of a big idea guy, but he doesn't really, mind the details so much sometimes. But anyway, this was commentary episode 42, Hotel Tanner. We're at 30 minutes, 53 seconds, so we'll pick up right there for part 3. So, I hope you come back. Sometimes it's weird. Sometimes, what I think I said it last time I did a commentary, sometimes, part 2s and part 3s get more views. I'm like, what are we doing here? It's like, that's a little weird. But don't forget, you can listen wherever you listen to podcasts. Spotify is kind of where it's hosted, but, if you're an Apple Podcast, I'm not even sure if it's on, YouTube Music. I don't know. Or wherever else you get podcasts. If there's somewhere else that you want to listen to podcasts and it's not available there, just let us know, and we should be able to upload it to there. We should be able to just submit our RSS feed, and it'll get published there. So just let me know if there's some other third party app that you use to listen to podcasts. I think most people are listen to a very few, small handful, but yeah, okay, that's the episode. Again, be sure to come back next week. Have a good one.